companies started trying different things. And those who use their own screens and cameras and all that, they were not as advanced. All of a sudden, companies started coming out. They bought an off-the-shelf VR goggle, and then they bought an Android phone, a good Samsung with good cameras already in it. I don't have to go buy a camera. It's in the phone. Then they slide it in. They do some, engineering type stuff, and boom, you'll have a video magnifier on your head. And here's a case. Okay, whatever, it's a case. You put all your goodies in here and you strap it in, and you can put the shoulder strap on or carry it around. And I do that. I throw it in my bag a lot when I go out. Now, what I'm going to tell you what I don't like about this, just get it out of the way. First of all, it's massive. I'm holding it up on the screen. It's huge. You've seen people with VR goggles, and when I put it on, there is a world outside of these goggles. It takes away all my peripheral vision and it messes up my hair. Just kidding. But they're very comfortable. That's what I don't like about these. I also don't like that I'm always taking them down and I don't have a strap to hang them. Put my head through there or something, but no, that's what I don't like. But inside these, it's hard. Oh, that it's shiny part. Okay, that is the cell phone is slid in there. Now, I can't make calls with this. It's all, that part of it doesn't work. But what does work is the good camera system. And I'm going to turn it on, so this thing will magnify. And why do I love it too? It has huge screens. What does that mean? Some of these, the older ones, they had littler screens and they were kind of pointed at not my good part of my eye. So I was trying to look, and these companies said, people with macular degeneration said, we need bigger screens. And voila, real big. This thing is like, 65-inch plus. It's like a movie theater when I'm in there. I guess that's why they call it virtual reality, even though these aren't, because you get lost in a fake world. Okay, it says, warning, don't drive the car with these. It doesn't say that. But I've never read the warning. So I turned them on. Now, I cannot show you another downfall. Thank you. Another problem with these is that they I can't display them on a screen. So I can't hang them on a docking station and use the read and write under them. I have to wear them to do that, which is fine. But when I put these on, I was able to see my computer, everything on the back side of it. So every plug, I could see in the plug. I actually took my computer apart and I bought a USB-C internal card for it. And I couldn't do this really. And all I did was have a light there, and then I could see with these on in detail. I could snap the card and do these tiny little screws. I don't know why anyone would even make them that small, but I was able to do that. I'm able to go outside my house and look up at my gutters. My neighbor lives 150 yards over there, and I could walk out on my front step, and if he's out in his front yard, he can see me. I'm like, what? That's insane. I got to walk over to his yard and walk up 3 feet away to know it's him. And I'm like, he's like, hey, I'm like, I don't even see him over there. And he's talking to me. I put these on. I can stand on my step and I can see him. Not only see, I could like see the color shirt he's wearing. I'm like, oh, this is kind of creepy. Like sighted people can see like this. Are you kidding me? So I would stand next to my daughter and say, okay, look at this. And then I was 80 yards away from the same thing. I'd put these on and I could see what she could see with perfect eyesight. I mean, if it was the color and shape and all that, I'm like, I cannot believe sighted people see like this. That is amazing. I don't ever have good eyesight like that. So I started looking around and viewing things and looking into I brought him to the beach one day and watching the waves come in and the way they curled, and I was zoomed in, and I'm like, wow. Yeah, I looked around some other things too at the beach, but just looking out in the distance and seeing the jetty and a boat that was going by, and it's like, wow, I felt like way more, not so much I never felt a part of. Somebody would sit there and say, hey, it's probably a 65-foot boat. It's got one of those big fly bridges on it. Looks like they're, whatever. But now I can actually zoom in and see that boat. And what's cool too, they have like stabilization. So when you're bouncing, because when you magnify in, those of you who've ever used a scope or anything with high power, you can't really move. You got to be very steady. And these things have some stabilization built in. And so when I'm wearing them, and like my wife was driving, and of course, my first thought, I'm looking at I could see the speedometer. I could see the gas gauge. I could see the stereo. I could see all the instruments. I'm like, and then I would reduce the magnification. I could see the street lights. I'm like, I could totally drive with these.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. And then I kept them on, and then my wife was stopping at a red light. I'm like, why are you stopping so far away? And then I pulled them. Oh, whoops. No, I don't think I would do too well driving, because the side mirrors on cars, things don't appear as, whatever. Yeah. Same here. The light, I would have been stopped at the light, but it would have been 25 yards up there. I would have been like, oops. But driving was amazing. I didn't drive the car. I was the passenger, but I could see road signs. I never saw them before. I mean, I did, but I couldn't read them. So, darn it, slow down. I missed it. So I could do that, but I could glance down and read my phone. I could look at in the back. I could read license plates. I can't even, I'd have to get out of a car and go about this close to a license plate to see it. So these things changed my world. When I got my first video magnifier, my world changed. When I got these, I felt the same way again. I kept going places. I've done mechanical work, car work. And here's another cool thing. Oh, it went into warning. I have a book here, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't feel like reading it. So let's go. Did you hear that camera noise?
Yeah.
Okay.
To the three people who are responsible for gray hairs on my head and laugh lines on my face, Michael Jr., Mitchell, and Carissa, you show the world what driving looks like every day, and you are the reasons I am thriving in my life. God sent me the black on white. To the two people who are responsible for.
You are
That's
the reason
incredible.
I have. So now I just took a picture of this book I just happened to find lying around. I don't know. It's like Thriving something. No, I'm okay. So now, not only that, I can take pictures of any type of printed material. I can magnify it in the screen. I can make it green text on a black background. I can change all that. I can magnify it so big that I actually could follow along, and the letters are huge because the screens in here are huge. Now, I also have a box on, when I'm looking at print or anything, I can change all the contrast modes too. Excuse me. So now also I have a box over there. I can plug my camera into the HDMI, and everything my camera sees, I see wirelessly. So I can now frame shots. If I wanted to watch Netflix, I would plug my computer out HDMI into this box, and now Netflix movie is coming to my screen. And if I need to magnify it more than the screen can handle, all I do is move my head to pan around the frame of the movie. It's crazy. I'm in the chair relaxing, and I'm like, Molly, I'm yelling to she's like, what? I go, this is sick. Because most of the time when we watch a movie, it's most of the action's in the center part of the screen. So most of it, but something was happening, and I'm like, and I just moved my head a little. Of course, I didn't read the manual. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it moves the whole screen. So that's what this thing will do. You can get an external box, and any signal you feed into the box, it'll wirelessly go to this thing. So I don't need any cables, and I can walk around doing stuff. It was really neat. I put my camera out in the kitchen, and then I plugged it in, and then I was in here, And I said, oh, I could see what, it was just so cool. I could tap into, I have cameras on the outside of my house. I can then I can put the image of any of that in here. I mean, it's endless what you can do. Well, it's not endless, but so lots of pros.
Brightness 70. Brightness 80.
So it tells me the brightness. It reads to me out loud. It tells me different modes I'm in. Like, oh, it doesn't work unless my eyes are up to it. I don't know why.
High contrast. Black on white. White on black. Black on yellow.
So you heard all that now, and then this is what it sounds like when it goes off. And if I leave it on, and then I didn't know that. I had it over here, and all of a sudden it went dee dee dee. I'm like, what the? I thought it was going to blow up. It was saying, hey, I'm going to shut off if you don't shut me off. So
Charlie, there was a confirming question in the chat. This is called the Patriot, right?
Yes, Patriot Viewpoint. That was a segment from our all new once a month on the first Monday Assistive Tech Talk. Each month we will bring in a manufacturer or an engineer or consumer, but people who really understand what's new, what's current, and what's still working that maybe is old, whether it's low tech, medium tech, and high tech, to help us in our daily lives, in our workplace, at home, to remain or become more independent. So if you'd like to learn more, go to thrivingblindacademy.org. After about 20 or 30 minutes, we then go into Q&A. So that part isn't on this video, but when you become a member of the Academy, you can come into the Zoom room and ask your questions and give your feedback. Thank you.